Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Games, Things, and Stuff, where we talk about games, things, and stuff. We have Micah is returned, and we have Ben. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
What, probably 15 people, I think, watched. But those 15 people, you're welcome to come back. So I was actually talking with my wife about this because I've been writing a core book for an RPG for about 2.5 years now, and so I was talking with my wife about, instead of doing a traditional publish, I think I'm gonna, once it's done, I'm gonna stamp on the copyright, and then I'm gonna toss it up on what's that website where you Patreon, and just let people download a digital copy for $1.
Yeah. If it's got a good enough base to it, which I was looking at some of that stuff, it looks pretty good. Like you've got a very good amount, and it looks like a lot of hard work put in there. And I feel like people will jump on that.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? This I was like, I don't want to go through like all the hassle of having to worry about, whatever. Like what I may do, just so I have a physical copy, is I may throw it up on Amazon, order an author copy, and just keep that, just so I have like
Yeah.
a physical, so I can just show it off, and then just leave it as a private thing and not for sale.
Could you do that to where you could have it where the download was $1 or whatever, but if they wanted a physical book, they could pay like 19.95 or 29.99 or whatever, something like that to
Yeah,
get that.
you could actually do that. So like, with Amazon, the big thing with Amazon is this: the author can always order author copies, and the author copies are always way cheaper than if you have somebody who goes and orders it. So I'll give you an example. I have my 4 novels, my 3 novel. Yeah, no, it's 4 books, 3 novels on there right now. They're priced at $10 each. If I order author copies, they're like $3.95 plus
Okay.
shipping. Right. So like by the time
Hmm.
you pay shipping, depending on how many you get shipped, you're probably looking at $5 a book, basically. So like, you could do that. You could price it at say $20, right? But then the author copy would be $12.
Hmm.
And so you could always do that if you wanted to, and then take it to you, like if you wanted to go to like a con and just have them set out or whatever. Yeah, you could
Right.
you could potentially do that, and you'd make some money. Not a lot of money, but you'd make some.
Well, that's where I was saying don't print them all out, but just have them on a. If you request this, I'll do it,
Right.
but only if you're 100% positive. That way you're not stuck with a bunch of books, but you're gonna make money on it when they really want it.
Yep. Yeah. The interesting thing, Paizo, the company that publishes Pathfinder, they do some similar stuff where like they only have so much physical stock ever. They have so much of it that they keep, and then the rest of it is digital sales.
Hmm.
They have like their website, and then they have third party companies that they work with, that put up digital products, and they deal 70% in digital product.
See, companies want to do that because there's a lot less overhead in a digital product as opposed to a physical copy of something. Because if it's a book or a CD or whatever, you got the cost of that, and you know, if it's a game, you got your case and your artwork and all that stuff. So and then shipping it. So if they can sell you a digital copy, they're gonna jump on that.
Yeah, yeah. Just think about that. Like, if you think about the scale of printing, even if you had the means of having a printer that could print all the artwork, you know how much ink you would go through?
Yeah, for sure.
There's so much ink. So it's like you got to think more. Uh, we run a cleaning company, is like what I do for work mostly, and
Hmm.
you have to, when you go from being the guy who just gets paid to clean the toilet to the guy who has to think about every detail in between and not just, oh, I got to go clean this thing, but okay, who's going to clean it? What are they using? Where am I getting it from?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's like that with publishing too. I do have to say though, Amazon does make it easy when you're doing novels. Novels are tremendously easy to publish if you just go on there. Like the only thing is like you have to make sure everything's within the margins, but they have all of that information readily available, so you can just adjust everything in Microsoft Word or whatever it is that you're using to adjust it.
Nice.
Well, let's see. I don't know. I don't know how closely you guys have been following all this stuff with what you call it, Hasbro. We talked about it in episode 1 a little bit, but they have decided that it was just to see what everybody's reaction was going to be. They weren't actually going to get rid of the OGL.
Oh, of course they weren't.
But they kind of shot themselves in the foot because what they ended up instituting makes it so that kind of everything with regards to like if somebody wanted to write a D&D-esque book, right? They essentially have license to do anything they want to do now. It's like you just made it worse on yourself. You could have just kept the OGL and been fine. Make your $125 million a year. Oh man, it's a mess. It's a mess. Oh, I'm looking forward to what I'm really wanting to get back into the game. What's it called? It was dang it, the one with the dinosaurs.
Arc.
Arc. I want to get back into Arc because they had an update not too long ago where they did a release for a new set of maps and stuff, and I'm like, I want to get back into that.
So, what's funny is I've had some friends around here that played that a lot, and I thought about it, and I just never did. And then I don't know, like 2 or 3 months back, it was one of the free games for PS4, so I downloaded it. And then every time I tried to play with them, we could never link up schedules. So I still have not played that game.
You can play in like single player mode. It's not online where you can just like adjust
Right.
everything. I did that one time. Adjusted it to where if I could just use my fist to kill anything because you could turn your damage way up, right? And then the damage you take, you can turn that way down. So I just turned that way down and then just turned up the damage I dealt way up. And so I just walked up to a Giga and just punched him in the eye.
That's pretty cool.
That's a lot better than my first experience. My first experience, I was killed by a dodo bird.
Which
like a level 2 dodo bird.
I don't understand how you got killed by a dodo. They run from you.
They didn't run from me.
He got trampled in the process of it running away.
I did that one time. I bred because you can set your dinosaurs to like aggressive or defensive or passive or whatever, right? And so I was breeding dodo birds to have as much HP and attack as they could get, right? So like the more you breed them, you could like breed certain traits into them. And so I was breeding them to have more hit points and more attack. And I was just going to have an army of dodos just follow me around.
That's cool.
I got up to about 50 dodos in the herd. And just a raptor attacked, and I was like, go get them, dodos. And they just swarmed it. I mean, they were just like waddling along. But when they got there, dude was toast.
That sounds pretty cool. I messed around a little bit with another game. It's the Jurassic World Evolution, and
Oh,
you could
cool.
breed your dinosaurs and stuff.
Hmm.
But the thing is with that is you had to go out to like dig sites and find their DNA, and once you got enough, then you could start doing it. And but you could breed different traits into them and stuff, different colors and whatever. So that I mean, I enjoyed that. So the arc sounds fun. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you can
Another Jurassic Park Evolution 2.
Yeah, I've seen that. I haven't played that one.
I haven't either.
you can breed different colors into them too. So like somebody was doing they had bred rainbow colors into like some birds. And so see like a rainbow bird just go across the sky. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I made velociraptors and I did them like blue and red and yellow. They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, I decided that this time around my featured game is going to be Friday by Friedman Freeze. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's some foreign name. I don't know. But it's a solo player only game. And out of a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 4. It's very enjoyable, but it's not very replayable, is the problem. Um, Once you beat it, you finally, figure out, even though you can up the difficulty, it's just, it doesn't change very much. It's pretty much the same thing over and over. And but it is very exciting to, try, because what you are is you're the character Friday from, I think it's Robinson Crusoe,
Mm.
and you're just trying to survive, and all you have are cards, and you have 20 lives. And as you go through the different cards, you go through your deck several times, getting rid of the bad cards and upping your stats and stuff to be able to beat higher level enemies. And then at the final stage, you have to beat, I believe it's 2 ships to get off the island. So it doesn't rate very high for me as far as replayability, but on a scale or category of play it or skip it, I definitely give it a shot and play it, but not one to buy.
We don't have to. We'll just borrow it from you.
Well, that's true. Actually, that is one thing about this game. It's cheap. I think it was $10 or $12. So it is one of those games that you can play it, get tired of it, pass it on, and just have a train of people that you pass it to. So
I think I left. I think I
that's
left
about.
the game I was gonna premiere in the house. Let me go get it.
So I've got a few games. I don't know if I should show them all off or if I should just show one and save the others for other episodes.
That's up to you. We just
Or just focus on one.
go with the flow.
Because that other one that I was telling you about that I got from Goodwill called Bonk, I might show that one, but I might save that one too. I don't know. We'll see. See what he says. But I've got a few pretty cool ones.
We gotta stop talking about them now.
Oh man.
Oh darn, we're on recording. Forgot about that.
So I wanted to premiere this.
Ooh, yeah.
This is it's made by Free League, and it is one of the coolest ways. Like it's very everything's laid out in a very simple style, right? And one of the really awesome things is you really don't have a lot of HP. Like everything is like small numbers. Everything is done with a D6. And there's this cool mechanic where you can absolutely lose your mind. Your character will lose it, and you will never get it back. You become broken, and everything becomes so much more difficult. Oh man, you so I watched a podcast. They were doing gameplay, and the bad guy won, but it was such a cool moment. You didn't mind that the bad guy won. So
Is that based off of the movies?
yes, it's based off the movies. Like it has like all of the same. So like when you go through here, it's got information that talks about each of those things, and the starter campaign in the back of the book is called the Hadley's Hope, which was the name of the colony on LV4. Uh, was it LV426? Is that right? I think that was the right one.
Something like that. It's been a long time since I've seen the movies.
So that colony that they lost touch with, you get to play as the people in there, and you go into it like if you've seen the movie. Spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen the movie: they all died. So it's like you're fighting to survive, knowing you're not going to.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it is. It is brutal. Like just the combat system is absolutely brutal.
Sorry, I'll turn that down. That kind of makes me think of it's a newer game, but it's on PS5 called Returnal. That game is hard. You have one life, and if you die, you start back at the beginning where your ship crashed, and yeah, get to start all over again. It's fun, but it's relentlessly hard.
And the map changes every time.
Yes. When you die and you go back in, you have to figure out how to get to the boss guy again through different layout of the map.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's not like you can read a walkthrough on like the Gamers Network or anything. It's always different.
Yeah, it cycles. Sometimes you'll see some of the same layouts, but it cycles pretty good.
well, that's let's see.
Before we started this, I went on YouTube and started watching your Reddit's horror stories of RPG.
Yeah,
I didn't get through the whole 15 minutes, but that first one about some guy getting punched.
yeah, yeah. I was yeah. That's look. Here's the thing. If you don't know anything about Warhammer 40K, it's a satire of human civilization. They're basically space Nazis. That's pretty much what they are. Let's just call them what they are.
You should fill Ben in on what the article was about.
They're
was
basically
great.
space Nazis. But this one player punched another player and called him a fascist because he plays Warhammer 40K. The whole game is a parody of fascism. Like that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. just have fun with the game. Don't let your feelings get in the way, right?
Right? Yeah. That's exactly it. It's like you're missing the point here, guy. It's not. You're not supporting fascism. You're
making fun of it.
making fun of it. That's the. One of the comments was this guy. Nobody ever caught on, but this guy actually painted all of his minis to look like they were wearing Nazi uniforms, and nobody ever caught on.
Uh-huh. So you guys have heard of the game Exploding Kittens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, I've got the little party pack here, and this is kind of funny because when you open this box up, I put it by my mic. Can you hear that or not really?
I heard the little meow.
Yeah, so it does like a little song and whatever. But anyway, so very fun game. Everybody knows what that is. So from the makers of this game, I've got this game called Throw Burrito. Okay, and it's a dodgeball card game. So you have cards, and the way you play your cards through, depending on how they go, you throw your burrito at your opponent. And like Micah and I have actually played this, and there's spots where you have to get up and like walk so many paces back, turn, and throw the burrito, and whoever gets hit by it loses. it's it's pretty crazy, and I mean it's got
5 paces.
yeah, and like there's what some of the cards look like, and you get the burritos. Now, there's only 2 burritos that come in the box, but you can order more. So if you want to play with a bigger group, so that's something to think about if you want to get them for more bigger groups. I mean, you can also take them and just pass them around and whatever. But the concept of it is a pretty cool game. It's pretty fun. But it's one of those that is just so random but works very well.
And can't you steal the burritos from others so that you have like 2 of them at a time or something like
I
that?
think there was. I'd have. It's been a minute since we played that. Because that's before we were actually in our house here. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Lots of
yeah,
fun.
it's a
You
cool
have to make sure you have plenty of room to throw them, though.
Yeah.
We don't have wood floors
Garage game.
and socks.
Yeah.
Back porch.
And I have an honorable mention game. It kind of is a game that makes me think of that same branding, but it's not made from that company, and I don't know actually the company that does it. It just says a game by Exploding Kittens. This is a game from Dolphin Hat. That's the name of the company, and it's called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. Okay, and it's a card game, and you get dealt out these cards, and on the cards they have tacos, cats, goat, cheese, and pizza. And as you play, you lay a card down, and you start off with taco. The next person lays their card down, and you keep going like that. So taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza, taco, cat. But when you lay a card down that matches the word you say, then you have to slap down, and the last person that slaps down loses. Okay. Now they also have 3 bonus cards in here. There's a narwhal, there's a groundhog, and there's an ape. Now, if you get the narwhal, you got to do the narwhal horn. If you get the gorilla, you got to pound your chest, and if you get the groundhog, you gotta pound the ground, and then you do your slap on the table. And if you are the last person, all the cards are on the table go to you, and the first person that gets rid of all their cards wins.
Wow.
So it's different, but it's fun. Just a honorable mention in that
So
one.
it's like Go Fish and War put together.
Kind of,
Slapjack.
in a way, yeah.
Well, in Slapjack, you're trying to get all the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, definitely fun games.
That would be really fun to play with kids, right? Because it's like super simple.
Yeah, it's simple, fun, and the first time we played that, we actually got it during COVID, and my wife and I at the time were staying with my parents because we had just gotten back from Arizona, so we were living with them, and so it was just us 4, and we didn't have anywhere to go because we were locked down because of COVID, so we started playing that game, and it was actually a lot of fun. We had times where we were just dying laughing trying to make it through a round.
Well, that sounds like some good suggestions. I think I'm going to possibly throw those in my cart on Amazon.
Okay. Check them out at least.
And maybe, I don't know, if I can ever like get things set up in my garage, you might start having people over to actually play board games and stuff again. Because we used to do that. We used to have like people come over and we played board games and stuff. We love doing it. My wife and I are obsessed with Firefly. And we have the board game, and we bought all of the expansions, and we absolutely love it. Like, if you asked me to pick between Monopoly or Firefly, I'm picking Firefly every time. Super long game, takes forever to win, but I would rather play that than Monopoly.
I've never played the game, but I've watched the entire series plus both movies afterwards or whatever. I'm thinking there was two movies.
Just one.
No,
Was it just one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Serenity.
Yeah, it
There
was Trinity.
one
Okay.
season. There was one season, and then there was the movie Firefly.
Okay.
So like the movie is called Serenity. The show is called Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
There's a lot of TV shows I wish that they would, have finished, in whether it was a movie or just even like one other episode, just to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of TV shows.
Yeah, and if
Pretender being one of them.
any executives from Fox watch this at any point in time, you suck. So that's
Jericho was another one. Although with Jericho, they continued the story in graphic novels,
yeah.
but I don't think I'm still waiting for the fourth season to come out on that one,
Yeah, like,
and that was almost 10 years ago.
yeah, they've done some novelizations of Firefly, the crew. Some of it was prequels. I think there's been one or two books that was after the events of the movie. I got the was it Big Darn Hero is the book I got. And it takes place before the movie. I think even before the show, possibly. Where Jane thinks he has a daughter, and I won't spoil it just in case anybody wants to read it, but it was pretty good. I liked it. It was it's pretty fast paced. It wasn't like a slog. There are some books are slogs to read, and you can't finish them. This one was terrible. I had high hopes for it, but it sucked. It was really bad. But all of the Firefly stuff's been pretty good. So, well, that takes us into our next segment. Things. What things are you guys excited for?
Well, Ben and I are excited about that new Jedi Survivor that's coming out.
Yeah, looks good. I played the very first one, and that was actually right around COVID too. So I played a lot of that, and I ended up getting the platinum trophy on that.
Nice. I am excited and can't wait for it to be just warm enough where I can actually do things outside again.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. 'Cause,
I didn't catch what you said. I'm sorry, my computer kind of froze for a second.
I'm excited for it to be just warm enough to be able to do things outside again.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be
Not too
nice.
hot, stick around 45 degrees, but don't rain all the time.
Hmm. For sure. I would be really excited to be off my knee scooter. That would be phenomenal.
Oh, what happened to your?
I've had complications from diabetes, and I got what's called Charcot foot, and it's where the bones in like the foot and ankle are like damaged, and if you continue to walk on them, they can cause deformities and break and all this other stuff. So I've been on a knee scooter for a little over 3 months now,
Yikes.
and the last visit I had, they said I'd start to put some weight on it, just not a lot and all the time. And so I've been doing little bits about it, but it's been getting to where that area gets really warm to the touch. So I'm kind of like, is that good? Is that not? Because at first, when it first started happening way back, um, it was like super bad, swollen, really red, and like it was. Sorry, somebody walked in. Anyway, it was really red and swollen, and it hurt and all of that. All of that went away when I got off of it, and I was on the scooter and everything. Now it's starting to get a little more swollen, and it's starting to um, get that heat back into it. So hopefully it's okay, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
I broke my foot. I fractured it. I don't know, last month or whatever it was. That sucked.
Yeah,
I had
it's
to
not fun
I
for
had to work
sure.
with a boot. It's the first. This is the first time I broke anything other than my pinky. I don't know if you can tell which one it
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah, that looks good. Nice little swoop to that.
I broke my face.
Well, you
Yeah,
didn't break your face. Someone else broke your face
yeah.
for you.
With a golf club.
I did break my elbow. It was a nice good fracture in there. So yeah.
I've been pretty fortunate. Like I don't know if you can see. There's that indentation right there.
Mm-hmm.
That was from a camper.
Mm.
Ran into my grandfather's camper as a kid, and knocked me out cold. They said that
Wow.
it was that handle, that comes out and lowers and raises it,
Mm-hmm.
the legs, and they said that I hit it so hard that the camper just went.
Ouch. That's rough.
Oh man! You know what I'm really excited for though? As much as I really detest spending money, um, my wife got our daughter a swing set, and I'm actually looking forward to putting that up because she loves swings now, and it's so fun watching kids on swing sets. They have so much fun. It's like this so simple of a thing, and it's so fun to them. It's like as adults we have to pay bills and worry about where the food's coming from and whatnot, and it's like you just take 20 minutes out of your day and be like your kids and just focus on the simplest thing to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just make sure that you anchor it properly. My
Yeah.
dad was one of those that put the swing set just on the ground. So every time you got a little too high, the whole thing just rocked back and forth.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning on putting concrete shoes on it, so like
Yeah.
about a foot down, so that it's stabilized.
It
Yep.
was soon known as the swing set of death.
Yeah. My parents bought one. There's a wooden one for my niece, and I helped my dad. We put it all together, and then they had these stakes that were like probably 2 foot stakes, and you beat it down into the ground, and then screwed it to the legs of everything, and got it all together. So yeah. And the first time she saw that, her eyes lit up so much. It had like two swings, and it had like a little rock wall and a little ramp, and then it had like a little spot you could get up into with a little awning, and then a slide coming out.
Mm.
She loved that thing.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see. So we went through games, we went through things, and now stuff. I am currently in the process of purging my garage. I have a chair that the heating thing stopped working on it. Like you can lean it back and like put the feet up, but that's it. And we tried to send it back, and the address they wanted us to ship it to was in Hawaii, and it was going to
Oh
cost
my goodness.
$1,500 to send the chair back, and the chair wasn't it. We didn't even pay a quarter of that for the chair.
Right.
It's like I didn't pay a quarter of that. Why would I pay you $1,500 to ship it back? That doesn't make any sense. So it's in a box in the garage. I have no idea. So if anybody wants
If
it,
if the heating thing still worked, would you use it?
if it worked, I probably would. But since it doesn't work,
Because
I'm like,
it shouldn't be that hard to fix that.
So it's like I got so frustrated with it because we hooked it up, it worked, and then the next day it stopped.
Oh, nice.
I was like,
Is it? Does it have a spot where like you can? Is it just one cord you plug in, everything's all together, or does it have a spot where the heating thing is, and you can like disconnect that, or?
it's everything. Like the remote operates everything, but underneath there's like 3 or 4 different connectors that connect.
Is it possible that some of those came undone and just need to be clicked back together a little bit more?
Yeah, see, I checked all that. I had to actually
Okay.
unplug all of those. They were all still plugged in.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Is that? I mean, that's the simplest option first. Just double check connections.
Yep.
But just a little troubleshooting, and that could possibly be fixed. So, I wouldn't mind doing that for you at some point if that's something that you would like.
You can just have the chair.
Check it out.
I would just be
He's like, I'm done with it.
I would just be happy for it to be out of my garage at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I took it back apart and put it back in the box. So like it's in the box.
Okay.
Ready to be out.
Cool. So I've got something that could be considered stuff that would be kind of cool, but it kind of also links back to games. But anyway, I've got this right here. It's a 8-bit DOE controller that's reminiscent of the original Nintendo controller.
Mm-hmm.
It is Bluetooth, and what is really awesome about this is it will connect to iOS. It will connect to Android. It will connect to a computer. It will connect to a Switch. It will connect to pretty much anything and everything. If something does not have the Bluetooth, there actually is a cord that plugs up USB, and that will connect it. So there are like unlimited applications for this controller. And it's cool because when you turn it on, it's got those little flashing lights right there.
Yeah.
It just connected to my phone. So like you can pull up a game on the phone and play it. And it makes it very enjoyable. Hold on, let me see here if it's still connected to the phone. Yeah. Okay. So, oops. Let me turn the brightness down. Sorry. Turn the brightness down on the phone. All right. Can you see Mario?
Yep.
Watch this. I can move Mario with the controller and go into the game. It's going to be really hard to play it one-handed. And backwards. Come on. There's the jump button. It's super hard to do this one-handed. But anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah.
So you can play the game with the controller. And like I said, I've used that on my Switch. I connected it to the Switch and played Mario Kart 8 with it. And it did phenomenal. I mean, it was really fun. So that is actually something that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. There was somebody that was selling like a bundle of stuff, and they had games and everything. And I didn't even see that until I got the box and was going through it. And I'm like, that is awesome. I'm keeping that. Because within my little side hustle / business, whatever, like I've said before, I buy stuff and then flip it for a profit. And I did really good because I got the box for like $25. And within that stuff in there, made profit well above what I paid for. And then when I looked this up, this controller is going anywhere from like $75 to $100.
Wow.
So I was like, that is amazing. Yeah. I was like shocked that they sold it for so cheap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think the thing that makes it so cool is how many devices it will connect to. It's just phenomenal. Normally, like if you have like something PlayStation and something Xbox, they won't interconnect. You know what I mean? Like if you take a PlayStation controller, it won't connect to an Xbox. If you take an Xbox, it won't connect to a PlayStation. This will connect to any of them. So it's like how did that company get that technology? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's normally they would try to block something like that. So it kind of makes me think like they might have developed it and didn't tell nobody.
Maybe they just put it in there and they didn't tell anybody, but it works.
Yeah. There's like, hey, let's throw this extra code in there so it works with everything else. Just don't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The thing is, you show that to a millennial, they won't even know what it was originally used for.
Yeah.
People our age, we know all about the old, even going back to like the Ataris. That's the earliest one I remember.
2 buttons and a stick.
Yep.
Oh man, it's kind of like rotary phones. You got the old rotary phones. You ask kids today, they're like here, dial a phone number. What? Dial a phone number. Where's the phone number? They're supposed to be in your head. What do you mean?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how bad it's gotten? Like, I used to remember lots of numbers, and now I don't remember anything. I'm just like, I got it on my phone.
Yep. Yeah, that's. I was thinking about that too. Like, man, I used to remember everybody's phone number, and I can't remember anybody's number now. I still remember our old home phone number though, mostly because my mother still has that phone number. But
Yeah. I remember the first phone number I had when like as a kid growing up that I remember. It was 753-8089. And I don't know why I still remember that, but I do. And like we haven't had that number for years.
I still know your parents' phone number.
Yeah. 489-2851.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that one now. But see, as a kid, you remember your home number because you got to call and, let them know where you are or what's going on. So, I had that memorized pretty good.
The other day, I got a phone call, and it was from one of the middle schools in Clarksville, Tennessee. I was like, hello? It was a kid looking for his dad. Like,
number.
sorry, kid, I ain't your dad. Goodbye.
no matter what that test says,
And it wasn't. I don't think it was a prank or anything. Maybe
he probably just forgot.
Was one digit off or something. But
years ago, my grandparents' number was one digit off from Wendy's. So they would always get calls from people who were like, well, okay, it's a college town, right? So they were high and wanted munchies, so they would call my grandparents and thought they were calling Wendy's and asking for French fries.
I'm sure Ralph
I would have just
had fun with them.
I would have just got a fryer and just started and just let them order.
My grandmother was like, I could ask them what their card number was. Okay, we'll have that ready for you. Oh, goodness.
Oh, man. Well, that brings us pretty much to the 45-minute mark, which brings us to a close of our second episode. So, any final words for our audience?
Be safe. Have fun.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head earlier when you said if we could all just take 20 minutes out of our day and not let the stress of everything going on pull us down, just think like a kid again, because that in the long run is going to help us out more long term. If you can have that time where no stress is on you and you're just having fun, that's going to help you feel better about yourself and prolong your life because you're not going to have stress.
Yep. Well, my final words are this. When you're all alone and you need some voice in your head, just remember, in space, No one can hear you scream.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you.
Bye.
Yeah.